Hey, you guys, it is William calling from Wee Wee Vlogs, and I am starving, but I am not about to eat no poison cake. No, I am not. No poison here, but poison in Croatia. Marko Bošnjak. Our man is snatched, and he has won Dora 2025 with poison cake, and he'll be singing at Eurovision. Devon!
Hey, you guys! Hey, William!
Should we watch the live Dora performance and react?
Let's do this!
You guys, I already reacted to the studio cut ages ago. I was in Thailand on Hala Slay, and I loved it at the time. Will it translate live? That is the question. And to get the answer, we are hitting Slay.
Upside down. Oh, black and white.
Like a James Bond intro.
Deliciously boring.
A
Oh,
lot of hands.
Jean-Paul Gaultier
Devilish.
reference there.
Oh, there's chefs behind him.
I sprinkle on my sweet revenge.
It's Sesame Street. They're leaning into the kids bit. I want this more devilish. Okay.
He switched it up from being this sort of sweet saccharine,
I like the percussion.
cupcake darling to this venomous villain.
I want it darker.
With a bit of sass. I like all of that.
Ghouls, ghosts, death. I don't want the pink and stuff in the background. Okay, this is nice. We're transitioning here. Where are we going? More aggression,
Oh,
yeah. I need tighter cuts. Again, this needs to be more stark.
His dancers give it that slightly darker undertone.
I don't like the LED.
This really does switch from toddler to adult very quickly.
I do like what he's doing with his body. Yes, dip it low. He can work with these dancers.
A dash of death is easier to swallow.
They're cohesive. I like this. We're in song number 17 of one's. Oh. He's overexcited.
That's a big vocal finish. And he's not quite there yet. It needs to read a bit darker.
This is nice. Bring us
Oh, yeah.
home. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom,
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
boom, boom.
It's a bit of grit, a bit of darkness.
Okay. Huh.
Marko
They love him. They love him in Croatia. Look at that.
Bošnjak.
Yes, his team loves him. Jury winner, 4th with the televote. Our man came out on top. Now, I don't know how to make a poison cake. I don't know what goes into that, but I know that in this poison cake, there are a lot of ingredients. They're shoving every genre you can think of into one song. Now, it could work if they marry it visually. I think at the moment, and this could just be symptomatic of Dora, the budget at the national broadcaster. I think there are a lot of things that don't quite work. I think that the LED, particularly towards the end, there are too many colors. We don't need color. This needs to be black and white, monochrome with darkness. I don't want all the cutesy pink and orange. It totally takes me out of the mood. if you're gonna go for this poison cake, go all in with the cyanide, the crushed almonds. Crushed almonds kill you? What am I talking about? The cyanide, the toxins. This cake needs to be properly poisoned. I want ghouls, gargoyles, demons, monsters, devils. I mean, think DJ Bobo. Vampires are alive, but more haute couture, like more expensive looking. Because this song it needs that. Like Luke Black went all into his like monstrous hellscape, the gas masks, etc. You need to think more devilish, more inferno, because right now it's kind of cutesy, even when he's being aggressive. I think the transitions, there are moments when he's clearly pivoting to more intensity, or pivoting from sweet to dark. But I just think it's smooth in the transition. It should be rougher. It should be more stark. It should be like night and day. Because right now you even see him at the beginning going tasty, tasty, and then it slowly becomes a poison cake. I don't want the slow transition. I want boom.
Okay, they really like that. He has fans in the arena. Two things here. Normally every year I review Dora, the entirety of it. But you know what? 2025 just started on a really positive note for me, and hate mail is just not sexy anymore. And I just decided this year to avoid pre-selections that typically would get me a lot of fan hate. So we didn't do Dora this year. The other thing I need to tell you is that I'm friends with quite a number of Croatian pop stars, Jack Hudek being one of them, Anna Rucna being another, and she and I are particularly close. But one of the things that I know about her is that she absolutely adores Marko Bošnjak for a number of reasons. She was kind of there at the very start of his journey when he was, I think he'd won the second season of a kiddies talent show called Little Stars in Croatia. And also because Anna Rucna represented Bosnia and Herzegovina at the Eurovision Song Contest, being a Croatian. This is like a swap round where Marko Bošnjak now wins will now fly the flag for Croatia, but actually he's from Bosnia and Herzegovina. And she absolutely adores him and all the rest of it. So anyway, this was leading up to the contest. This was one name that she kept saying, and she was sending me video clips and stuff. And she's been particularly excited about this entry. Congratulations for her, because this entry has now won the contest. But what I want to try and say is that certain people impact you. It's like Beyonce winning the best country album. I'm sorry, this is the weakest album of her career. So to pick up the album of the year at the Grammys, when arguably she should have won it for Renaissance, she should have won it for Four, she should have won it for B-Day, or Beyonce the album, or even Lemonade. She now picks it up for Cowboy Carter, an album that, you know what, many of her fans only bought the album because it's a Beyonce album, not because it's like the best country album. This album didn't even get shortlisted for any award at the CMAs. Fast forward, what am I trying to say here? Marko Bošnjak is a loved character in Croatia. People adore him. People think he's really sweet. He's grown up with the Croatian public, and they've always given him that vote of confidence. You know, like, oh yeah, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Poison Cake, please do not tell me this was the best song at Dora, because no, it can't be. It really can't be. And I think that Croatians have now voted for who they love, not necessarily the song they like the most.
You know, this outfit is very Cesar Watu Romania. He works it. Marko looks good. But I think against a white backdrop, the black clothing would look better. It would pop out more. Because at the end right now, I can't see anything. It's just all these flashing colors. I do like the dancers. I think that they have some good moves, but even they need to be uber-styled, demonic, devilish. You know, think of Scarlet at Melodifestivalen, right? They're giving sort of a voodoo doll that was stitched back up. You know, they're like rips and tears. It's messy, it's dirty. Whereas this, you don't even know they're chef hats. You just think they're wearing black caps. It's kind of like, yeah, lean into the Halloween spirit, because if this sits on the fence, it's going nowhere. Instead, it needs to get off the fence and go all the way. That's how you're going to make an impact with a song like this. But let's be clear, Marko can perform, Marko can sing. I think he got a little overexcited towards the end of this and so maybe lost control, but we know he can sing, so I'm not worried that maybe he wasn't hitting it on this particular night because he will hit it in the months ahead.
However, Poison Cake does have a few redeeming features. I like how it starts off very sort of, kiddie's playpen and very sort of almost infantile, quite sweet and quite loving. And then it goes very dark. My issue is that it doesn't commit to either side well enough. I would expect it to even be more regressive in terms of the childlike portrayal. And when it switches and goes very dark, then I'm expecting Dracula. Flip it even more, make it go more extreme. There's a part where he goes, ah. Yeah, that part needs to be really dark and really sinister. And I would like to see choreography where he's flanked by gargoyles, gremlins, something really creepy and out there. Take it further out. The visuals can give this a much stronger reading, and I think that's what it needs. At the moment, for me, it's on the cusp of qualification at Eurovision. This could very much go Rocco Blažević and not qualify, or even Albina and just finish like 11th, or Franca completely out. But also, this could move towards the top, like Jacques Hudek. This could actually, Baby Lasagna was runner-up. I don't quite see this replicating that, but this could also comfortably qualify. It needs to read a bit much more. There's a lot of fence sitting here, and even the cape with the shoulder cones. No, that's not, that wardrobe isn't doing it for me. And he's sweet, right? Marko is very sweet with the fringe. He looks like he could be in a boy band, but so was Harry Styles. He was in a boy band. So was Robbie Williams, who was in a boy band. But these are boys with edge, with style, with grit, with texture, and with a very clear vision.
Croatia is competing in the second half of the first semi-final. In this semi-final, we have Sweden, Ukraine, Slovenia, Iceland, Estonia, Poland, and Portugal. And in the second half, we have the Netherlands, Azerbaijan, Albania, San Marino, Belgium, Cyprus, Croatia, and Norway. Now look, this is by no means an obvious 100% qualifier. I think they're really going to have to elevate the staging, tighten up the camera work to give this a shot at sailing through. They do have Slovenia here, and they have, Slovenia is their only Balkan neighbor. Albania is here. This song is going to pop out regardless of where you put it, but the question is, will it pop out in a good way or a bad way? And I think, again, those changes can make it lean toward the good. I want to read some comments from the WeWeBlogs website, and these are the most voted for comments. Max Spencer says, so is Malmö 24's true legacy that no one wants to actually win and host later with a serious migraine? Joe says, ESC 2025 is a bloodbath. For the title of worst song of the contest. Samira says, this is trying so hard to be edgy, but the cringiness of this is too hard to bear. What a waste, Croatia. Fionn says, God, it's a very weak song, almost zero melody. Henry says, I'm sorry, Croatia, but what an awful song. What did you choose? My ears are bleeding. And this takes me back to my whole point about visuals. If people are not responding to this musically, make them respond visually. Bambi Thug's song was incredibly divisive after the Irish selection, and I guess that's a useful analogy in the sense that it has light and it has dark. It has sweet sections and then it has mad sections. And Marko seems to be following that blueprint. What Bambi did in Eurovision, they sort of elevated by leaning in to the wackiness, the craziness, the devilishness. They amped it up, and I think that's what Marko is going to have to do. Oh Well says, I love you, Croatia, but this is not it. Max Spencer, again, says, so we have morphed from espresso macchiato to the milkshake man and now disintegrated into the poison cake. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm addicted or allergic. This song is like a mysterious dessert at a sketchy bakery. The lyrics are a cringeworthy mix of sweetness and, well, poison. Imagine a lovesick teenager writing a breakup song after eating a whole box of expired chocolates. It's like someone poured all their emotions into a blender, hit puree, and then served it with a side of stale sprinkles. Should we buy the cake? Y'all, the studio cut had me bopping. It was a vibe, you know? It's very artistic in its own way. I just think it hasn't translated at this stage, but there is still time. Irish fan says, don't like this at all. It was a really good final, but the song does nothing for me. IV *** says, so everything is back to normal again. HRT not qualifying. It is just going to be the ultimate harsh awakening after Baby Lasagna last year. Baby Lasagna? The one HRT and the expert did not want in the Festival of Horror Dora, let alone ESC. Marko, just dreadful song, even beyond Grizzly. We should point out that Croatia has often done well when it takes risks. Let 3, Baby Lasagna. Those were not typical expected songs. They both made the final, and of course, Baby Lasagna absolutely killed it. Whereas in the past, when they've gone with really popular, safer, more predictable songs like Albina's TikTok, which I loved, then they don't make it through. So, you know, this could still work out. Tomato says, I'm not mad that he won because he had a good performance, but I've never liked the song much. It lacks melody and it's too artificial for my taste. Would be much happier with another act. Right, so you know what? I'm struggling to find Here we go. Purple Mask. Congratulations, Marko Bošnjak. Thank you for bringing an interesting piece of music to life with a theatrical performance. For ESC 2025, this song is its own niche corner, so it will be a difficult one to predict. It's also continuing a bit of tasty trend with milkshake and now a poison cake. Basel will be happy to be selling food on brand. We should also point out that last year Croatia gave us lasagna. Our people in Croatia, they are hungry. David says poison cake is a mess and in a wrong way. Stephanie says, well, this was a waste of my time. I'm sorry, but this is just rubbish. And Phil says, thanks, Croatia, for joining the semifinal, and thank you for not attending the finals. Right. Basically, people are saying poison cake is not to their taste. We're going to have to wait and see how they transform this stage show. That's going to be critical.
The personality here is bipolarity. And bipolarity, in order to make an impact, needs to be less about straddling both worlds, but actually being the extreme ends of both worlds. I think that would strike a lot more visually, and the audio needs to reflect that as well. So when he's screaming, let it plunge deeper, give it a bit more depth. Oh, you know, like let it just be almost scary. And then when he's like a child, let him be like, you know, like a 6-year-old. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I like. The stage lights need to be fixed. It's too messy. Dora is very heavily competitive. And one of the difficulties with Dora is that what works in Croatia does not necessarily translate beyond Croatia. But they're lucky this time because this poison cake is a toxic dessert. And you know what? It could really give us that chokehold that we need at Eurovision. Yeah. Actually, the more I talk about this, the more I'm finding that it can be rescued. At the moment, though, we're not there, and a lot of work needs to be done. But hey, listen, he's got 8 weeks. And with the right team, yeah, this could really take flight. And he's got Anna Rutsna's love. She adores, oh my God. We actually spoke yesterday, and she spoke about Marko, let's just say throughout the entire 48-minute conversation. Yeah, keeping it real, keeping it sweet.
All right, well, that's what we think. What do you think? Are you loving poison cake? Do you think they need to tweak the recipe? And if they do, will they be on to a winner? Let us know here on Wee Wee Blogs.
Is Marko on Pinterest? Because he ought to be. While you're at it, guys, follow Wee Wee Blogs on Pinterest, and we will see you later.
And we'll see you later.
Bye.